Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times in this modern world that we are facing, we have gone through a really long pandemic, and a lot of things have changed. Prior to this, the manual pen and the signature was always the way to get things approved and so on. So now we have this thing called digital signatures, and I understand that through many of the perspective of the businesses. Many are still undecided on what is this digital signatures and how it can benefit your business. So to further move on and elaborate on this, to explain further, to help the ones who are undecided, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a very an expert in this digital signatures process. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Miss Agatha from Adobe to begin her presentation. On to you, Miss Agatha.
Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Agatha, and I work for Adobe here out of Singapore with a frequent travel to Malaysia. So today it's my pleasure to guide you through the story. As Thomas said, to sign or not to sign. Just a moment, let me bring my deck and I will be starting presentation. For the beginning of the presentation, I will switch off my video first, just to save on the bandwidth. And then as we go to the Q&A, I will come up on the camera again. So thank you again for joining. And just a moment, I'm sharing my presentation with you. Just a short maybe confirmation from the team, from Thomas and Ricoh, Malaysia team, if I may ask, if you can see my first slide. It is a red background, to sign or not to sign, the push.
Yes, Agatha, we can see your slide.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is myself, Agatha, and these are my contact details and yeah, WhatsApp number. So a little bit about the background about Adobe. So we represent mainly two solutions in digital media. One is for content creation, any banners, any marketing collaterals using Adobe Creative Cloud set of solutions. And we are focusing today on part of Adobe Document Cloud, where we are showing basically the secure and effective user-friendly tool for small, medium, and big enterprises, how we can work with the documents, approvals, signing, and of course, acceptance in a better way. Yeah. So what does it mean? As Thomas said, right? So we noticed that we see every day more and more engagements that there is basically a digital first. We work in the workplace, which is hybrid. We work in the office, but we also work from any place in this world. So more and more organizations or customers of ours, business partners are working from remote locations. And everything is at the end experience driven, especially when we are talking about documents, right? So we would like to make sure that this final stage as a, let's say, execution is basically smooth and we don't need to repeat it, that we know exactly where are our documents. When we are talking, let's say, in the traditional way, would be more manual, that we might be representing maybe some logistics company, transport companies, trading companies. And yeah, when we are, let's say, leading our teams, there might be some sense of delays or dissatisfaction, maybe in the procurement process, that something got lost in the courier, or, you know, you don't know where it is, so you need to redo the process. Especially when you are basically looking at the physical resources like printing out and paper, so it costs also material and time. Maybe there were some errors and yeah, we need to repeat it. So once this is not digitized, so we would need to do it a little bit in the slower motion. And especially, when we are working on this digital environment, you might be using maybe Microsoft or Google or any subscription methods that you have for your office, your favorite productivity applications. We need to make sure that everything is secure and compliant, that nobody will be basically breaching your documents. So that's why we are talking about Adobe Acrobat and digital document lifecycle. So I opened first the two bulks here that we are talking about creating. Basically, we are preparing any document or document, let's say, components, maybe like a product description, service description, pricing, terms and conditions. So everything should be nicely documented and nicely prepared. And it's all sitting maybe, on some certain, let's say, structure that you have in your organization. You might be willing to collaborate ad hoc or in structured way, internally and externally, without losing time and sending back and forth emails. And the last portion, this is the one that we will be focusing mainly today. It's about execution. So we are talking about Adobe Sign that, in the easy, efficiently way, you can basically know exactly how many maybe sales contracts your representatives have signed, or basically is there any proof that the terms and conditions have been signed, which were updated, and then you can store it wherever you like because Adobe is allowing you to do so. So what are the other, let's say, points that other customers of ours like you who are in the small, medium, and large enterprises, so they're looking basically on the priority on their digital workflow. So to ensure that the experience is better, right? So it's faster and you not lose anything, that you can basically improve the productivity, reducing risk, that something can be lost and you need to start from scratch. You can access it anytime and anywhere across web, desktop, or mobile. And from the management perspective, you have the increased visibility, so you know exactly where are we heading. So first, I'm going to cover the create portion. So create, first Adobe is coming with Adobe Scan. So this is the free of charge tool. Everybody can download it on iOS and Android devices. And whenever you have basically here in this example is scope of work or any other document, so we will be helping you to scan it. We have a powerful tool which is with the OCR, so optical character recognition, recognizes text automatically, and then immediately we help you to transfer it to the PDF, which is Adobe leading PDF editor is Acrobat. And this way you can perfectly work from anywhere and further basically process your documents. So let me show you. For example, when we are in Acrobat, we create this PDF. We can create it from one file or multiple files, or basically we can have like a container. There are maybe, some also PowerPoint, some Excel, some, let's say, Word document, and we will combine it. However, we know that what is happening in the day-to-day life, you can see on the screen that what would happen in the better way. So we see the email, and there are so many attachments. So what are the potential risks or, let's say, dissatisfactions by receiving such an email? First of all is security. So the information contained, basically, we would need to improve, these files in terms confidentiality. Accessibility, well, we need to make sure that the document which you send that can be opened in any device, which is mobile, tablet, and work basically from anywhere. Then file size, so this might be a little bit challenging depending on your, partner or customer. Who are you sending it to? Maybe they have a size limit, right? So when you will be using Adobe Acrobat technology, you can also reduce the size. reading order, right? When we are, let's say, a legal firm, we would like to make sure that there is a description, there are basically some details, terms and conditions, contact details, and everything in the right, let's say, order, because in this way, we don't have a guarantee how this is going to be understood or read, right? So we would like to make sure a better experience. And the deadlines, right? So we would like to make sure that it's easier for people when we have such a busy life that we can, yeah, basically put here a deadline as a kind of a kind reminder. This is still to be done. So it's kind of, like a little mosquito that, okay, yes, this is what we need to do within the certain time frame. So thanks to this solution, you can see now the red logo. This is Adobe Acrobat, the leading PDF solution. So you can combine these files from basically anywhere. You can see here on the next here information like, okay, we combine them. Before we combine in the last, let's say, version of container, we can still reshuffle it, and basically including the individual pages, we can basically then decide that this is going to be the last version. Even we can expand one of them, maybe change one or two pages, or remove them, depending how we would like to have it. Once this is all done and we are happy with the reordering of these files, then basically we are happy with that, and we can go back to our example that we had so many attachments, and now we resolve it by using Adobe Acrobat Pro, basically. And here you can see that this is so-called agreement package, and it's easy, basically user-friendly and fast. So what we are achieving a protection. So basically a single password that can be placed on the document, and this basically gives us the, a peace of mind. Fully accessible because all of the file types will be converted into PDFs, and Adobe gives you the so-called liquid mode, which is basically possible to be read on any device if it's on the web, desktop, or mobile. And you achieve also a possibility to have a reduced file size. So then it's also your partner, if it's someone who would like to order a moving services, or is there someone who is ordering a package of coaching services. Any small and medium and large enterprises have own use cases. Then of course, we guarantee the reading order. So one single document that is now in the order, and would like to basically to ensure that recipient will be getting it how we would like to design it. And last but not least, of course, the deadlines for review. So the document will be basically reviewed, and there are deadlines automatically, which are going to be kind of snoozing some small mosquito, let's say, flying around. Then we have collaboration, and collaboration is very important, that we know that we send it to someone, like by sharing, sending for comments, commenting, comparing files as well, that we don't need to look for this input, but everything will be integrated in the document. So here on the next slide, I'm presenting to you, the option that you can do the share and review. You have basically in the middle the file itself. We are using the commenting option, and you can see that in this way, I will never lose any feedback. Instead of receiving maybe WhatsApp or email, or being sometimes also in the face-to-face meeting, then I can basically collect all of them using basic consolidated powerful tool of commenting. The next feature that we touched upon is protection, right? So it's very important for us to make sure that our documents, if it's like, any offer, or maybe in some sensitive information, we would like to protect them using basically the secure passwords. We would like to protect them from editing, from opening, from printing. And the next feature, which is very useful, maybe, for pharmacies, for also clinics, also, let's say, for psychologists, or also, let's say, for quotations for logistics companies and for banks, for example, for financial advisors, that redacting is very important because it's removing a certain sensitive information and it will be not seen by the other parties. We don't want to share it. So here you see basically in this way, it will be permanently applied, the redaction, and as well optionally sanitizing the PDF. So this is marked on this document, and once it's marked and then we confirm it, it will be basically removed. The next slide is a kind of a reminder for those of you who have been using Adobe Acrobat 2017, so that these documents are at risk. So please reach out to the team at Ricoh, and they can help you, with the right tool, which is with the update, with the support, and with the security patches. So this happened earlier this year in June, but we understand people are busy, so it's not too late. You can reach out and get your best option. Then we are moving to the execution, and as I said, so this is to sign or not to sign, right? So we have already worked on the documents, we have them nice prepared, and now we would like to execute them. And that's why we are introducing Adobe Acrobat Sign, which is in Malaysia legally binding. We are here referring to Electronic Commerce Act and as well Digital Signature Act. We are talking about the platform, a platform which is helping us with electronic digital signature and also admissible and enforceable wet signature. And this is all on the right hand side based on the basically authentication. So the signer will be authenticated. We provide also details report with basically documentation step by step, what happened, who sent it out, who opened it, who signed it, and you can have workflows as well, depending, on the process. But the most important is in the day-to-day scenarios, we have basically agreement and we send it out and it's still not signed, and then it goes lost, or maybe we send it by courier and there was a huge rain and then it got basically destroyed because water destroys everything. So in this way, it is digitally empowered, it is nice and effective, and you can always get basically the copy of that. So we are lucky to be here basically legally binding in Malaysia. Lots of small and medium and large enterprises benefit from this solution. And the most important is that once this is final, it is basically not possible to be edited. It's final. So to highlight a little bit more about this solution, so Adobe Sign Overview, what it comes, basically checking on identity, intent, and ensuring integrity. You can see on this slide, it can be used on all of the platforms, if it's basically on the web, desktop, or mobile, across devices. You receive the analytics, so especially, if you would like to know something has not been signed yet, you can send a kind reminder, or you can just set it up like that. And when you do also maybe businesses overseas, depending on the nature of your business, you are also in good hands, because then you can get this signature much faster than sending an overseas courier or complicated methods. So on this slide, I just highlight, and this report is shared by us to Ricoh as well for your review. So IDC, it's a world-known consulting company, and they have been analyzing the solutions available on the market. And you can see here on this graphic, so Adobe is here, and there are some other also players. And we are honored to be, let's say, recognized as a leader in this category in terms of giving you and all of our customers good experience and vision. We also provide a very good customer success experience in terms, introducing good value for your investment, because there are constantly improvements based on your feedback. So basically, each and every single customer feedback is very important to us. And integration. So you work basically with Microsoft, Google, or any setup, or you can also work on this in the browser. And I will show it to you in the demo shortly, how easy it is, just getting a document finalized and executed. You may think about some use cases, some examples that you've been struggling with the documents in your organization. Maybe if you are a small organization, medium organization, so you might also see where you could improve in terms of signing, filling the form, getting something approved, or having a delegation as well, right? And also having a certified recipient, right? So this are just only 5 ways which I mentioned here, but the list is endless. A lot of, let's say, companies who manage real estate, shopping malls, when they would like to send maybe some agreements, renewals, and so on. So they can do it using Adobe Sign. It's nice and easy. There is also an option using basically a mega sign. So this is the advantage. In terms of authentication compliances, of course, this set of slide is with a team of Ricoh. You can benefit from here, but I would like to highlight the most, let's say, popular ones are by using email and password, and then it gets more and more, let's say, secure, where you, for example, would require also email and OTP, which is the one-time PIN, one-time password, which is basically something as a number which is sent to your mobile device. And down there you can see as well there are a lot of industry-leading certificates that we comply with. There is a whole list, just to mention, for example, ISO 27001, or maybe also for, let's say, HIPAA for pharmaceutical companies, or also, in terms of credit card payments. So we work on 10 global data centers. There is a data center in Singapore. So this is the immediate, for you in Malaysia. So no latency, good basically responsiveness, and good customer experience, so that basically your agreements can be finalized in a smoother way. So now, as we talk about this, execution, you might be thinking, where is the place that I would like to keep my business moving? So these are just examples where you see the improvement could be done. And then we can also offer you some additional tailor-made training. So you might be using different solutions. So you might be using Google Suite, Microsoft, or any. So this is just to say that Adobe Acrobat Sign is a highly adaptable solution and delivers basically signing experience for any applications already in use. And in case of Microsoft, we have a little bit here more detailed slide that now we are meeting in Microsoft Teams. Maybe next time we will be meeting basically in Google Meet. So this is basically to show that how to accelerate basically this efficiency, to be connected, and as well leverage and benefit from low-code connected experiences. And we are happy to be a preferred solution for Microsoft as well. So I would like basically to highlight, to show that this Adobe Sign solution can be plugged in, for example, in your Outlook, in your basically entire Outlook trail, and also in Teams. So we are very happy, when you have, for example, even telemedicine. It's very, very common that COVID is still here. pandemic, let's say, somehow we learn to manage it, but still every now and then we hear that somebody had not so good experience, even that we thought that it's somehow milder. So telemedicine also uses Adobe Sign for basically consulting that you can do it online instead of going to the polyclinic and maybe meet other fellow patients who have maybe even more critical condition. So by explaining, like telemedicine or live signing, so we are very happy to show you, this is happening in Microsoft Teams, and there are some top use cases, but of course, for every sector, you can think, what would be the best for you. It would be maybe for HR, like remote hiring, which is happening, right? Online onboarding. Stays, any contract could be signed faster and we can document it together with the workflow. Financial services, we would like to open account or basically loan signing. Healthcare, as I mentioned, telemedicine, which I also use every now and then. And also in public sector, if there is, let's say, more and more coming up because we see that there is a progressive trend. So all in all, it is seamless integration, complemented basically on SharePoint or OneDrive or any, let's say, solution you might have. If you are in need on contract management, more in SharePoint and Power Automate, it can be also done just to trigger, more automation depending on the, let's say, level. And now I would like to unshare my screen. Let me see if there is any maybe question in the chat. I can hold on for the moment. I don't see any questions in this case. I will proceed further, and I would like to invite you for a short demonstration of Adobe Sign. Just a moment, I prepare the next screen. And just a moment.
Thank you very much, Ms. Agatha. So while you prepare for that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Ms. Agatha, please do write it inside the chat. Otherwise, you can wait until the end of the demonstration and the presentation. We will have a short Q&A session at the end of it, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So what I'm doing, actually, I'm starting it from scratch. So you can see that I'm starting it from the desktop. Basically from the browser, and I'm choosing my company and basically, the enterprise account. So at Adobe, we have basically connected it all, let's say, via single sign-on. So you can see that it's possible to do it. So I will be logging in, and you will be seeing basically in the few moments my screen of Adobe Acrobat Sign. Okay, so here we are. You can see that, I was referring to the electronic signature laws in Malaysia. So this is here. So this is what I had summarized in my previous slide. You can see here that, this is my access, right? And this is the good thing is like if I'm a company and I invest maybe into 2 or 3 or 500 transactions. So the transaction, what I will be doing, it's a one transaction. Then I can invite unlimited amount of my end users, right? So if I'm company of 5, I can invite all of 5 people. If I'm company of more people, I can also invite more people who need it on the day-to-day basis. So you can see home, right? So I will be requesting the e-signature. I can start for library. Maybe I prepared some templates, right? I can do the fill and sign document. I can publish the web form on my website, and even a simple website start basically collecting the signatures or data. I can sell in bulk. That I said maybe I'm manage the shopping center, or basically I would like to update all of my customers on some updates in terms conditions. I can create a template that can be reused, and I can also track and manage all of the agreements. Plus, I can enhance basically my account if I would like to have additional integrations that I mentioned before. So here is about the sending, and we are here. This is more about managing as well. So we'll be sending in just a moment. Managing, so basically I would like to understand where I am, basically, how many are in progress, how many are waiting for me, how many are completed. So it's important, maybe I canceled something or expired because it was a certain deadline, right? I might have some templates, bulk senders, web forms, so you can have also some drafts as well. I mentioned workflow, so because maybe you would like first to give it to your team after your team has completed that. So then you could also work in the certain sequence. So here we can also help with support team, and you can also generate reports. So because this is a simple demo license for me, so I don't have a report, but it's possible to say, okay, I would like to know in the certain period of time how was basically the usage of Adobe Sign transactions, so I can also plan it for the next period. Okay, so now as you can see, we are here, and I would like to ask one person as a volunteer just to write your email address here in the chat. I will take it from here. So don't be shy, please. Just please write your email here, and I will take it from there. Is it possible? Oh, here, please. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. One enough. Yeah, fantastic. So I'm going then back, and this is what we can see, right? So it could be up to even 100. Okay, so in this version, I can ask you to sign, and I will give you a sample of the sales agreement. I would like to ask you for signature, but in our, let's say, scenario, you could be approving, you could be accepting, or being a certified recipient, also filling in the form, or delegation, right? So I will be authenticating you based on this email. But in addition, there are some other options, like I said, if it would be phone authentication, password, email. So this would be it. And now I can also write you basically a private message. So will be basically Adobe Sign. Let's say it's like to sign or not to sign, right? Webinar on the 15th of September, right? So just something like this. Okay, so I can always go back, and for example, if I need, I can also update it, and then I can also put here, yeah, my title. In the future, if I would like, let's say there are some templates, maybe for HR department, maybe for other departments, right, to work it nice and clean and faster. Here I will have basically, please review and sign this document. And here I will attach the file. So I will go just to my computer, and I will go to my documents. I will go to the products, and I will go to Adobe Sign, and I have some demo files. So basically it's going to be sample. Okay, I think I opened it before, so I will close it first. It's very intelligent, so then I can show you now, basically going to the products and then to Adobe Sign, and then conducting a demo with this file. So it's uploaded. Before I go, I also would like to show you that we can have a password, protection. We can have a completion deadline in case something is, let's say, quite time critical. we can set a reminder, let's say, if this is really crucial. So depending on this, electronic and written combined. And we have so many languages. Of course, we have Malay. Of course, we have Chinese, simplified and traditional. So, but for this simple demo, let's stay with English only. And also, this whole dashboard can be also in a very long list of languages. So, as per your preference. So now I click without further ado to the next. And now we are actually starting. You can see that we are now in a Adobe Document Cloud, which is basically, so this is a SaaS solution. And only for this period, we will be in the cloud. The rest, you can store the document how you would like. So you can see this is my document here, and I have populated the fields. So it's very easy, right? So I would like to have a text, right? So it's going to be required. I will have a date. So basically, the date will be in this format. And I will have also the signature field that I would like basically to make sure that I have it. So I would like to have signature field on this, maybe a block. Okay, so then I will delete this one, and this is a little bit more comprehensive, you know, so I can, of course, further customize it if needed. But because this is a simple demo, you know, so this is it. So it's so simple, right? And of course, the date of signing can be done, but now maybe not very relevant because we will do it immediately. But in case, you know, you send it, let's say, on a certain day, and then you have some reminder, you know, that the other personas are busy. So there could be basically a date. It's important. So now, without further ado, I will send it to you, dear call. Thank you so much for volunteering. So, my dear call, when you receive the email from me, so it was sent to your email address here. Please help us to open it, and let me know if you are comfortable to basically to click through. So what you will be receiving in your email, you will be received basically that you received something like this, you know, to sign or not to. Oh, I made a spelling mistake. Sorry. So, but maybe singing is also much better. It's healthy activity. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just human. Sorry about this mistake again. I would like to ask Cole just to go to the email box, open my email, and there will be basically inside, to sign. You click on it, and then basically you can sign it. You have 4 options for signing. There will be basically either, typing or drawing, or you can also upload your either scan signature, or you can simply to send it also to your mobile device, and then you receive kind of an iMessage, and you will be using your finger as a stylus, and you will be signing this document. So I will now unshare my screen, and I would like to ask Ko just to let me know where we are, since I'm not able to see it. Hello? Hello? Is it working?
Yes.
And I,
Yes. Cool. If you are there, do you mind checking your email? Are you able to see the procedure, the signature? Otherwise, Agatha, if you've got, oh, okay. Cool has replied and say, okay, done.
oh, okay. So
Yep.
cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thomas, for help with moderation. So in this case, I will update my email box, and in just few moments, I should be receiving this when Ku said it's done. Okay, fantastic. So let me share again my screen with you in just a moment. So you can see I'm using here Outlook. So the first notification was that, basically it was sent, right? Basically to Ku. So I knew that I sent it, right? And then the next notification is also a little bit comprehensive, right? We can see that me and Ku, we are both on this email because it was already signed. So it says that it's signed and filed, right? So this time doing something in the document cloud was very short. And now I can open these two files. Just a moment, just a second. And you can see that both of us, and if there would be more parties, of course, everybody will get it. So you can see that we both, let's say Ku and myself, we received it. So when I open this document, so we have two, right? The first one, let me enlarge it. So you can see this was this sample of Global Core Sales Agreement. And we have the name, we have a date, and we have a beautiful signature with the timestamp. This is what we wanted. And the certified, basically, we have a certification by Adobe Sign. So this is very important because it's already final. If I try to edit it, it says this document has been signed and cannot be edited anymore. And this is what we wanted to achieve. So this is final. And then we have audit. This is about the analytics, that we know that, okay, this was the title. Today is the 15th of September, and we have a final audit report. So Agatha, so this is myself. Today, I use this a lump sum of Adobe Sign transactions, which the company have given me. I send it to Ku, and the status is signed because Ku signed it already. The transaction ID is here, so it's a unique transaction ID. And yeah, so you can see basically document was created by Agatha, document emailed to Ku for signature. Then we have viewed by Ku, and the signer enter name, signing, then e-sign, and then completed, right? And the same as well. We cannot change it, right? Because it's protected, it's sealed by certified by Adobe Sign, a document cloud solution. So this is basically to show you how easy and fast it is to use this technology in terms of, the final step in your document execution. So now, without further ado, I would like to come back and yeah, to hear, are there any questions? I would like to help and answer them.
Yes, thank you very much, Agatha, for that wonderful presentation and demonstration. We have some questions that are coming in, but before that, I'd just like to just address the crowd for the moment, the audience today. So, basically, you all have seen the functions of digital signatures, and I believe I, for one, am also very convinced on this because one of the things that I've experienced in my past, primarily when it comes to getting a line of signatures, is who's the last person with that document. So we say, hey, I thought you have it or the other person has it. So this one, as you can see, has a long trail that you can actually follow up on who is the last person who signed on it. So now on to the Q&A. We have a question and answer. I have a question in the chat box from Joey Tan. A question reads, if the email was forwarded to other person, can the recipient open the agreement and view it?
Yeah, so this should be not normally done, right? Because when I have even the traditional document, do I give it to someone and give it to read? So this, first of all, normally we don't do if it's something confidential. But thanks to our technology, we authenticate the person by the email, right? So if it gets sent to someone else, then this someone else cannot view it because we did not send it to this person. We don't want the other persona to work on the document. We don't want to have any leakage. So basically, the best practice is, just send it there. How you prepare your documents in the traditional way, let's say in the paper, to say, okay, then we will be using this solution. We will send it to you. You will sign it, and then it's done. You can do it also on the call, and just to maneuver, or via, let's say, Zoom meeting or Google meeting or Microsoft Teams meeting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Agatha, and thank you, Joey, for the question. Do we have any other questions from the floor? Feel free to unmute and ask the question, or if you do not want to ask it over voice, you can actually type it into the chat box, and Agatha would be more than happy to answer them. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, we have a question being written. Oh, I think Joey Tan has raised a hand. Yes, Joey, can we help you? Do you have a question?
Thomas, sorry, I just now I was away. About my question. Because the agreement we sent through email, right? My question is, if that email forwarded to other party, are they able to view the content and open the file?
You are meaning if it's sending to
Sorry,
the wrong
because I
party,
just
is
I
it?
was away just now.
Oh, no problem, no problem. You're meaning
Uh,
if it's erroneously sent to another party, is it?
no,
By mistake?
because
No.
because I experienced previously I used another company another software also
Mhm.
e-document. So that email actually is sent to me. I'm the one who's supposed to sign. But when I
Okay.
forward the email to another person, which is not the intended recipient, he also
Mhm.
able to open it, view it, and
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
So I just wonder if somebody forward this email to another party. Yeah, I'm not sure how Adobe sign. Yeah, work on this
Yeah,
thing.
so sorry that you were away. So I repeat, my answer was pretty lengthy. First of all, normally we don't do it, right? Because even if we have like a traditional document, traditional, let's say in terms of pen and paper, right? Then I don't walk around and show what kind of document I have. So this is a little bit. Yeah, it's a confidential, but with Adobe Sign, we have these authentication methods that I explained. That's why we authenticate someone by email. So only this email owner is allowed to enter. Yeah.
Allowed to enter mean he can forward to other party that he wish.
No, no,
No.
the other party will
Oh.
not be able to enter. That means you are
Okay.
recipient and
I
only
see.
you. Yes, only you.
So he won't be able to forward the email at
Uh,
all.
I
if the
think
person's
in the
not authorized, right? I think what Joey is mentioning, if the person is not authorized, let's say you
Yes,
accidentally
yes.
forward, because
no.
yeah, you can't send that because under Adobe they have this preset list of who are the approvers and
I
whose
see.
Correct.
signature. So
Okay.
anyone outside that group is not will not be
All
able
right.
to
All right.
open or see it, lah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Okay.
another software I use, they can allow that. That's my
Oh,
concern. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
very
no
good
problem.
question. Thank you.
Yes, and we have another question from Xin Yun Chuan. Can users sign using digital certificates if there is no workflow established? Uh,
Yeah,
Agatha, do you?
so
Yeah.
yeah, for Adobe Acrobat Sign, it's a platform. So we are able to incorporate also digital certificate into the workflow.
Okay. Then we have another question from Ku. Would you be able to show multiple acknowledgements, check and approve by, and are there any controls?
Yeah, of course. Our demonstration was very simple with just only me having the document and then who signing, but we are able to put basically any scenario that you need, maybe first acceptance, acknowledgement, and then signing. It can be done. Yes.
Okay, very good. Hope that answers the question. Do you have, does the floor have any other questions you would like to ask Miss Agatha? We still
Welcome.
have some time. So, does anyone have any questions further to this? Okay, if there are no further questions, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to contact us again at because we are our sales team as well as our specialists over here at Ricoh will be more than happy to assist with any further questions in detail. Oh, I see Joey is still writing. Is there another question from Joey? Will you send the webinar recording to us? Yes, basically at the end of this, the moment when we close this chat, the recording will be made available. So attendees inside this group, you all can actually download the recording and then view back again. Yes. How about pricing with the software? Perhaps you can, because it will depend on the scale of your company and your requirements. Because for Adobe Sign, generally, there's a lot of features that we can incorporate. Perhaps, Joey, you can actually drop us an email or contact through your servicing agent, and we would be more than happy to discuss and understand from your perspective what are the things that you require, and we can assist to integrate the best package and prices available. Yes. So from the audience, are there still any further questions? Okay, if there are none, please do feel free to contact us again if there's any other questions. Thank you so much once again. I'd like to thank Miss Agatha for sharing her wealth of knowledge and experience when it comes to Adobe as well as about digital signatures. So I hope you can take this time to think and reflect and see how we can use digital signatures in a day-to-day process and assist all your businesses to grow together. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining this installation of the Ricoh webinar series. Have a very good holiday to all Malaysians celebrating Malaysia Day tomorrow. So have a good long weekend, okay?
Wishing you good rest. Wishing you
Yes.
also a good long weekend. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.